Hello, welcome to my channel, Lady D. This will be my video on Oprah Winfrey, where I will look at her astrology chart and do a reading on her chart and see if I do pick up anything psychically with her as well. So as I do all these videos, I am using Zoom to do this so I can share the screen and show you exactly what I'm looking at in the chart and how I can explain everything to you. So let's start now. So I'll share my screen and we can start looking at her chart. Share. Okay, so this is Oprah Winfrey's chart. So what I've using the chart that I got for her, it is on the 29th of January, 1954 at 4:30 a.m. So she is an Aquarian, and I was surprised that she was an Aquarian. Um, so with Aquarians, I find that you either love them or hate them. There's usually there's no usually in between. I find with Aquarians, I'm an Aquarian myself, and I find with people they either really like me or they don't like me. Same with me with other Aquarians, I either like them or I don't. It's very like hit or miss. But and as I said before in my other videos, is that you'll find like celebrities, people who are in the entertainment industry, usually have like a Gemini or like a lot of Sag, it's like Sag aspects in the charts, and she does have Sag, like she's an ascending Sagittarius, so that sort of helps her sort of be very out there, puts her in the forefront, charismatic, um, and it really sort of like pushes her out there and being in that sort of celebrity vibe or industry. And it's sort of because Aquarians are awkward people. They are very much look to the future. They are very open. They have a lot of logic with them. But they are humanitarians. They are caring people. They always go for the underdog, but they're socially awkward. Like they want to come to the party, they want to be there, but then you'll find they just have this awkwardness about them. Like I know for myself, I always bring a friend with me. But with her, the ascending Sag, and then she's also got a Sagittarius moon, really helps her to overcome that awkwardness that Aquarians have. And it really makes her very engaging, very sort of youthful, like fun, like a very fun person, a risk taker, and someone who likes to travel. So all those things and open to learning and different things that really helps her with that. I really don't like these ads. It's not going away. Anyways, so so that really helps her. She's got her Mercury in Aquarius, so she's the way she thinks is a bit different, and she's probably like, and that's also why she's very much straight to the point as well. Um, with certain aspects or certain questions, like she's not afraid to sort of ask certain questions either. And she'd be like someone, I feel like with Oprah though, there's a difference from when we've seen her in the earlier years to now. The Sagittarian aspect, being an Aquarian, would have really helped her to step into the entertainment industry. And I feel like just with certain transits that she's gone through, has led her to where she has come to now. Because I feel like that she has changed, and I feel like that there's been a lot of navigating her way through the industry to where she's gotten today. And I do also have seen how, or the reason why people have turned against her in recent years as well. I can see that in the chart, which I'll go through a little bit later as well. So she's also got her Venus is also in Aquarius as well. So with that, she's not going to be someone, even though she does give her like hugs and like she is very like sort of friendly vibe. Aquarians, they rule the 11th house, just all friends. But when it comes to love, she may be a little bit, I feel like she has a thing with commitment, or she has and it does explain that in the chart, but the way that she loves might be a little bit cold when it comes to people who are around her, like the more of a, like her partner. She also has her Mars in Scorpio. I always say don't keep people angry if they've got their Mars in Scorpio. She could be very revengeful, very vindictive. Like if you cross her path, and it would be something that I feel like if she loses, you break her trust or you break her loyalty, that's when we get these, she's going to give it very, very revengeful to you. And like she will cut you down and have that really bad stinger. So she's probably very much a loyal person as such. But when she feels like you've broken her trust, there is another side to her that you probably don't want to see. She also likes partners, so she'll be after men who are very secretive themselves and perhaps are very like they want loyalty and they have a thing about trust. But they keep their cards close to their chest. But also they could be a little bit manipulating, deceiving, even cunning as well. She's drawn to those aspects, even like lying too. Um, so with that Mars in Scorpio. So they always say for women, you look at their Mars for who they're drawn to. For men, you look at their Venus, who they're drawn to. And I know that she has said about how her life has been as when she was growing up. I think I can go back in time, but it would have been should have had Chiron going through this bottom part of the chart, which have caused her a bit of grief and problems there when it came to her family life. But when we look at the aspects down here to certain planets, she's actually born, look, she's got some aspects that are not so good, but she's got some really good aspects here. Even where she's born with some really, really good aspects, and one that's be a very hard aspect to deal with in this lifetime. The good ones are she's one of those people that things will just fall into place for her. She's a Sun tri-Jupiter person. These people, especially she's got Mercury and Venus and the Sun all trying Jupiter. She's a very lucky person to have all those three planets trying Jupiter. She's a luck there when it comes to finances and relationships. There's also, she has that confidence to speak up to say what she's going to say, and to how she says things as well. And then with the Sun tri Jupiter, like things kind of just fall into place for her. She does have a square to the Sun square Saturn, and then she's also got the Venus square Saturn. Venus square Saturn is like it's delayed. It delays things in life to do with relationships and also finances. There can be delays with that, or things that you really want to do. There's certain delays that comes with that. And then also with the Saturn square the Sun, there could be problems in her life. But then I'd say these tries sort of trump them a little bit. She's also very good. What have we got here? She's also got this unexpected strength that comes within, that comes out with her, with the Mars tri Uranus as well. And she can be very good in how she can I think I'm gonna say deceive people. She also has these tries with comes to Uranus. I mean, there's some things that she doesn't see coming, but she's very good in how she speaks to people, to how she can advocate and how she can get things across. So we can see that in her chart as well. So let's just look at some of the planets. So we'll look at the natal first, which is what's the black symbols inside the chart. These ones don't move. In her first house, so we say she's an ascending ascending Sagittarius. And if we want to go deeper into her with her ascending, we can actually go to the ruling planet. So with Sagittarius, the ruling planet is Jupiter. It is actually in her sixth house and it's in Gemini there. So that also helps her become youthful, maybe sort of health conscious, or with the like how she's constantly sort of dieting and doing different diets. But there's a thing of her as being like spiritual health or health in general. Like she's got doctors and even like with having Dr. Phil on her show. So that actually comes through in her ascending, how people see her as someone who maybe advocates on health or trends to do with, what's in, what's out. Um, that links it up there. So if you want to go in deeper, you can always go to where the ruling planet is. It adds a bit more to another layer. Astrology is about different layers. And the more you do it, the more you learn. Okay. Now, she's also got born with Chiron conjunct the node here, and it's in Capricorn. So her life lesson is to do with Chiron here. So her life, there is a certain, this would be a hard aspect to deal with. She's got some really good aspects, as I said too, but this one will just be very hard for her to deal with in this lifetime. Having Chiron in the first house, I find that people who have that kind of they get depression or they have depression, and it's like there's always something in their life that they're not entirely happy about. But mixed with that node, that's part of her life lesson. So there's a wound here or something that causes her a bit of like a distress that maybe doesn't get healed, and that's part of her journey. It's part of her life lesson. And it being also in Capricorn, it's also her life lessons about following the rules, having some sort of law and order, some sort of structure, but business, being organized is all part of her life lesson. And as we can see, she is very much a business person. She has built a big brand. So it's all part of her life lesson. And I'll get to her earnings in a moment as well in her career. So in the second house, which I'll get to now, we've got Venus. She's conjunct, as I said, there's some lucky thing that she has. So she's got Venus conjunct the sun. So also throughout her life, there is like money, relationships is also a big thing for her throughout her life. Um, and even having the ascending in Sag too, we got it can also be that she sees the world as an exciting place to explore, which I do think that's relates to her. But having this conjunction with the sun with Venus, it would make her a sort of a very loving, caring person. Money would sort of just comes in for her, she is that's a very blessed. Like she's very blessed to have those tries with Jupiter and then to have that. It's like a double blessing. And then we've got the Mercury here. So how she earns her money, like she'll like what she does. She's very focused on the money, on relationships, on her self-worth, and how she earns her money is a big thing for her. And it's all about communication. How she earns her money is about how her communication, her talking, and her career has been built on communication, being in a news reporter and then having her own talk show. So that very much relates. And also being in that Aquarius stars rule her second house. So it's all about the underdog, what's fair, the little people, communities, people in general. So again, that does relate to her. We've also linked it up to the 10th house because the 10th house is the career. We've got Neptune and we've got Saturn in this 10th house. Neptune in the 10th can be about being of service, which she very much is being of service. And then we've got Saturn. Saturn can indicate that, your journey in your career it's not smooth sailing, that there's problems that do come up from time to time. But she's got more good than bad in this. Her MC's also in Libra, so it's all about justice, being fair, having a balance here. And even if we wanted to go and mixing that with that second house, definitely goes together for her. It can also be about families, and I feel like the way she treats people in her audience, it's like when you see there's certain shows, it's like a sort of a family feel to it too, as well. So that's all about her career. Neptune can also be that things don't last. It can be like a dissolving aspect too, and also can be a psychic aspect as well. I know she's interested that in sort of psychics, and because she's a fan of John Edward, she sort of made John Edward, and the same as Lisa Williams too. So she does have, I don't know if she's psychic or not, but that could be another layer where she's very interested in that kind of realm, like that kind of those things. Um, Neptune can also be about addictions. There is addictions too, but it also can mean like she's doing different things, which she has done, where things have sort of dissolved with her, like the show kind of dissolved. Then she's had that network, which I'm not sure what's happened with the network. Um, so yeah, we can see what's happened. And I can even see, I know in her earlier life that she was told that she wouldn't really do any, she wouldn't um make it in the industry, that because of her size. So there was some setbacks that she has had, and even now there's been setbacks for her, but ultimately, like I said, she's blessed with some really good aspects that really have thrown her into the limelight. And yeah, she's like a force to reckon with. When we go over with the fourth, there's nothing in these houses here, but having the IC here in Aries, she's someone that's probably the boss at home, being part of the family. She'd very much being one in charge, with having that in Aries there. And I dare say at home, she's probably a little bit argumentative, and what she says kind of goes. And I also feel like you'd find that she would have very much her taste in things in the house with very expensive tastes as well. She's born with Jupiter in the sixth, so she's actually got good health. Some people do say the sixth health is mean as more the career. I don't read it as that. I read it more as health, and she's actually blessed. We've got some good health aspects with that. She's got Uranus in the seventh, and then she's got the DC, um, which is in Gemini too. She's also got, I missed something here with the second house, having the Venus there. Can also mean that she's also very creative and creative, artistic too. And it also helps having a very like pleasing appearance, having Venus in that second house. And I was doing some of my research on certain planets too. Um, and a lot of assets. Having Venus there can have a lot of assets as well, which she does. Anyways, going back to the seventh house, she's got with the Gemini as in the DC. So I do feel like she's youthful, but I feel like there's a thing of commitment here. I feel like there's commitment issues that she has. That's what I kind of just intuitive. I just feel like that with Uranus here, it's like unexpected things happen about with relationships with her, like and with her partner. I feel like it's a very odd relationship, and we don't really see much of him, don't know much, but I do feel like it's a bit of a unusual pairing up. I feel so, but for her, relationships, it's always unexpected, unusual things sort of happen, or maybe if she's even drawn to people who are a bit unusual as well. And with Uranus being there in the seventh house. The eighth house, she's got Pluto. She's all about business. Also with her, you'll find, I mean, we don't know her actual finances, and I doubt that she would tell us everything, the ins and outs, but she is someone that would have money coming in and then money goes out. It's very much Pluto's like the phoenix. So it'd be like it comes in and then she has to use it for something else. And it's this constant like she has it, it goes, she has it, it goes. Also, she'd be someone who works better as a sole business person rather than in a partnership. She's someone who better to work solo, having her own corporation, her own business, having Pluto in the eighth house there. And then we've got nothing in the ninth. And then we go back to the 10th. Here in the 11th house, we've got Mars and we've got the moon. So she gets a bit emotional when it comes to friends, and friends is a good asset for her. It's a strength. Yes, she has arguments with friends, but she's very much she's all about she's more about her friends than with her romantic partners. Having having planets here in the 11th house. She's very motivated more by her friends and then with the actual partner. I think we see that too with her friend that she has. I think it's Gail. She might be looking for friends that are more nurturing too. She might be liking friends around her, but a bit more nurturing. Her mum should see her mum as someone who's maybe a very youthful person, risk taker, maybe, someone who doesn't want to sort of knuckle down and sort of be there, more sort of off doing different things, and not wanting to be trapped and sort of bogged down a little bit. But also there'd be an aspect of with her mum being like her friend too. And I should also see her mum as being someone very youthful too, but a friend aspect. With the dad, she sees her dad as someone different, someone who's bit of a different dad than everyone else's. Maybe she saw him as someone who's a little bit quirky, and she would have a little bit quirky too. Aquarians are quirky people. They're very different and they're very futuristic, but it's also how she would see her father. Being in a second house, she'd see him as being someone who earns the money, or maybe there's self-worth issues, or that he has a lot of self-worth. Think about self-worth also in how she sees the father as well. So that's we get like from the natal chart. Now with her transits, we're in the Mars retrograde. It has retrograded in her 8th house. And it's also been opposing that Pluto. There'd be something going on with money with her. Maybe there's been more expenses or something going on, maybe not quite right since the Mars retrograde. And when we're coming into January, it's actually going to retrograde into the 7th house here, which could mean there could be a few issues there coming up with her partner. When it comes to the work, she's had Saturn go through the last 3 years or more. I'll say about 3 years, maybe a little bit more than 3 years. She's had Saturn go through the 2nd house. It's come through, it's hit the sun, it's hit Venus, it's come and hit the Mercury. This is why she's had the backlash, because problems in how she earns her money and also self-worth. She may not have felt the best. But sort of the interviews that she has done in the last few years has been a backlash on them. And I feel like there's not been a positive light on Oprah, even when with the whole Hawaiian, where she was asking the people to give money to after the fire that went through Hawaii. And that is why with Saturn. And as Saturn goes through the house, gets stronger and stronger. It's just coming out there now. It is like, so now it's coming into this 3rd house. It's more about her siblings. That should have come in conjunct Neptune this year in 2025 in this 3rd house. So it's more about siblings. There would be an aspect where she maybe not getting along with her siblings anyway, or there's been distance between them, and having that Saturn going through is indicating that there's problems, and there already is with having Neptune there. So it's actually dissolving their relationships, whether it be distance or they're not getting along. And then soon, I think as of next year, even going into 26, she will be having Pluto going through the 2nd house. There's going to be a lot of changes in how she earns her money. There's also going to be, when we get to the 2027 and about 2028, I mean, it might be 2026, but I know it's a few years off. Saturn's going to be coming over and really hitting that Venus with the sun. That is going to be a big change for her, a big upheaval. It is going to be where she's either going to lose a lot of money, or there's some sort of loss with a loved one. And with Pluto, there could be someone passing as well. She might have a number of people, because it's double whammy. Not only is it going to hit Venus, but it's also hitting the sun. So it could be a double thing here of where she's losing certain people around her, or it could be a financial loss. There's some kind of loss. I mean, in the Pluto transit, you do get something back at the end of it, but take something away to give something back to you. But that's going to be happening in her second house. And as I said, in the beginning, in her early years, she'd have had Chiron going through. We can go back and see Chiron going through down here. That would have been why she had so much problems when she was younger through her family life. The Chiron could have started there. She's also got Chiron. I dare say there's been something going on with siblings. She hasn't gone along with them, or there's been fights. There's been something over the last, say, 10 years with her siblings that she's now got Chiron going through this fourth house. That is going to be problems with her homes, as well as, I say homes because she has multiple homes, as well as family. There's a lot of issues going on with the family for her, and it's going to happen over this next, say, 8 years. There's going to be issues coming up with Chiron going through the fourth house here. We've got Uranus that's going through, it's sort of halfway-ish through this fifth house. That's unexpected things happening with relationships for her. And that, again, it could be to doing with people that she's interviewing with as well, or certain friends that she has, unexpected things happening to them. We've seen like a bit of a downfall with like Diddy and people that she's associated with. There's probably getting more unexpected things happening with relationships with her. As well as that, she's coming up to Uranus, is going to be opposing her moon soon. That is going to bring about some unexpected things in the home coming up a bit with her too. Okay, so currently she's got Jupiter in this sixth house. It's the house of health. It's already been there like this year. It will be out by June next year. So it was there. It came in here around. It was after June, so it'll be around July, August here. But till June next year, it's going to come out of this sixth house. It's going to go into a seventh house as of June in 2025. That's going to be, she's going to get along with her partner better. Something more positives coming up to do with her partner. It could be partner, it could also be partnerships with her work, but it's more than likely could be her partner that she has. It's what's his name? Sedman. I'm not good with names. And then so more 26 when we get into sort of, I reckon, May, June. I can go forward and see 2026 when Jupiter comes up here in the eighth house. It's money. That's when she's gonna receive more money. She'll do a comeback. Something's gonna happen, but she'll get more money. It's more 2026 when Jupiter. We'll go forward and just see with that. Have I done all the transits? I see. I mean, there's a little she would have had some sort of news would have come up for her maybe last month. That would have been a bit emotional for her as well. She's gone through a big there would have been some health issues that she would have had as well with Pluto going through this side, coming down this part of the chart. There's some health issues that would have happened with her as well, and she would have gone through some sort of big transformation, and may even be moody as well. But there's a lot of change coming up for her too. But family, not the best time for family for her at the moment. She's not a flexible person. She's a stubborn, and she's a helper. She does like to help people. She's quite stubborn at the same time, but she's not very flexible. It's sort of her way or the highway. But yet she comes across as being flexible, and like, that she comes across as being like she could be your friend almost. But she wouldn't be like that. When you got to know her, you find that she's probably very stubborn, but also, yes, she would like to help you, but also equally as stubborn too. So if I go forward, I'll go forward 2026. I mean, see Jupiter going into and just see what the chart looks like. So we go to about July. So guys, I was right, July 26th there, Jupiter coming into this eighth house. It's all about money that year. So if we go around, it's going to be there So 26, even coming into 27, won't be coming out of there. By that time, we've got this Pluto who actually we've gone really close to that Venus and Sun conjunction. So something might be coming up in 26 for her. We'll say 26 to 28 because Pluto is a slow planet and things happen either before it hits or when it's directly over or when it's sort of coming off. Things happen with the planets. And because Pluto's so slow, we've got to give leeway, a couple of years leeway. What else have we got here? We've got that Chiron's going halfway through that fourth house. We've got stuff here happening with the siblings, I said, and then also probably coming into 27, she's going to have Saturn be in this fourth house too. So a lot of problems coming up for her with the family and the home. She's still got that Uranus there in the fifth. Once Uranus moves into the sixth house, which is a few years away, that's going to be unexpected health issues or unexpected things happening with her health as well. I don't like these ads that come up. Okay. And so yes. So that's one, and then that Pluto's already in that second house there. Okay, so stop sharing. So that is her chart. I feel like with Oprah, I mean, I'm not I think I'm not someone who I sort of loved her, but I think I had more respect for her in the past than I do now. Personally, I feel like that I feel like intuitively that it's like she sort of signed her soul away, that there's something going on to do with her work, that she has done whatever it takes to get to where she's been. And I mean, we can see in the chart that she's got a lot of blessings there that have pushed her out there. But I feel like over maybe like 10 years ago, I feel like that there was a situation that it's like she sort of signed her soul away. Um, that's what I get intuitively that has happened with her. And I do feel like that she's kind of lost her way a bit. I feel like that she is someone who she she was very much an influencer. Before we had Instagram or social media, she was a very big influencer in people's lives. I remember when I was quite young, there was a thing about her making a comment about meat and people not buying or not eating meat. I remember that specifically. But I feel like sometimes people can have too much influence on people, and I feel like that she was someone in the past that did. Now I don't feel like she has the power that she used to have, but I feel like there's something that she's linked with where the connections that she has made, like with the Obamas, P. Diddy, that she's made connections with certain celebrities that have not been good for her. And I feel like that's come out with the Saturn going through that. Are we going to see more? We might see more stuff coming up with that Pluto going to that second house as well. I feel like for her in her future, though, it's like there's rumors going around about her, but it's like nothing sticks with her. It's like she's like Teflon. It doesn't really stick. It sort of just comes off. And I feel like even if someone's flinging mud at her, it's like it's not sticking. So that's something that I feel like that she's signed her soul away with her as well. I don't feel like she's ever going to marry that Stedman, that man. I feel like it's more of an arrangement. I feel like it is a bit of an unusual relationship. I feel like she's awfully stubborn. Um, and I feel like there's certain aspects of her family that she doesn't want to show people, that she wants to keep hidden as well. Um, especially like when it comes to even like like I know she's had a child we don't know a lot about, but I feel like there's this thing that she wants to hide or doesn't want people to know about or people to see. She's all about how people see her and it's about her image too. um but I also feel like there's a trip to Australia again that she might be doing too. I do see her another trip coming up to Australia. I also see her embracing people, but again, it's all for the show, it's all for the cameras that I do see. I also feel like there's going to be like a relaunch to do with like her magazine or her network. Like it's like we haven't seen the last of her. She's still out there. She's still going to be doing things. Um, but she's trying to navigate her way back into the spotlight, back into where she once was. And I feel like if she wants to, she will lay blame or lay shade on other people as well. I feel like she's going to dissociate from certain celebrities or certain people too to make herself come back looking very much more clean or that she wasn't involved in them, even though we know that she was. And I also feel like too that she could turn her back on people very quickly as well. So I just feel like with that Mars in Scorpio, that she can turn her back on someone very, very quickly. Like she's your ally one minute, your friend, the next minute, like doesn't want much to do with you as well with her. Is what I kind of feel for her coming up. And I also feel like there's more movies coming up for her as well, but it's to celebrate, and it's going to be a movie of how do I say, like kind of like celebrating her heritage, like would you say celebrating her heritage? I don't know, political thing to say here, but I just feel like there's movies out, but it's all more about her being to do with like her background, her heritage, I will say as well. That I see coming out for her too. Um, I just feel like there's certain like Dr. Phil in her. I feel like there's a certain backlash here, Dr. Phil, with her. Like she's cut. I feel like that someone's celebrity that she's cut out as well with her too. I won't do the cards because I've been getting a lot of information anyway. Just sitting here, tuning in. I'm getting more information. I don't think I need to use the cards. Um, but I just feel like with her, she may be understanding, but at the same time, she can be very cold as well to people too. It's just what I get the vibe from her and what I feel and what I look in the chart too with her. Okay, so that's enough. I feel like for this video. So if you have any questions or you want me to address anything in this video, put in your comments and I may do a quick video addressing that. But it was more about doing the astrology charts. If there's someone else you want me to look at with the astrology, please put it in the comments and I will do a video and look at their chart if I've got all the information, or if not, I would show you what I can see, and I'll do more of a tuning in to what I can see for them as well. So thank you for your likes, shares, and comments, and I will see you for my next video. So bye for now.